Hello, welcome to a Master League video. This time I will be showcasing some battles and the new meta from a Show 6 Big 3 practice tournament that is for factions this cycle. And Master League had quite a change. It used to be 3 unrestricted, 3 restricted, which meant you could basically make a really good balanced team of like Dialga, Mewtwo, or Groudon, Giratina, Kyogre somewhere in between, and you're basically set for the rest of the cycle, right? You don't need much creativity. You're basically done there because it's impossible to break. But this time there are megas allowed, and there's also a point system, so you can't just hang on to your Dialga Mewtwo core. No, you have to actually use Pokemon now, and this time you can't also combine the best Pokemons with each other. Like you can use Dialga Mewtwo core, but that means you have to use 4 0-point Pokemon, and those are usually not the best. Not going too much in which Pokemon are allowed and which ones are not. You can see in the point system here. Whatever's not on there is not restricted at all. And what's called Swampert, Blaziken, and Sceptile are not on this graph yet, but Swampert is banned. It's too good, and Sceptile and Blaziken are 1 point. Now, the thing that I'm going to try myself is Mega Scissor. It looks interesting. It looked interesting in the meta. It has only one weak spot, which is Fire, and I think Landorus and Excadrill cover that quite well. On top of that, it also covers Dragonite, which is actually one of the best Pokemons this time in Master League. It covers that very well too. Primarina is my Charmer to go, and I have Xerneas, a 2-point fairy type, mono fairy type. I couldn't have Zacian, and Xerneas, I think, fits the role somewhat well because of its very versatile moveset, and it has more fast move pressure than Snarl Quick Attack from Zacian. Like Xerneas has Thunder, Mega Horn, Close Combat, Moonblast for charge moves, which is a pretty sick and versatile moveset. Let's take a look at my first matchup against RP3 Azor. No idea if I pronounced that right. But what is cool is they have a Megalopunny, so that's cool content to see. And Megalopunny has an interesting moveset of Low Kick, Fire Punch, and then I'm not sure if they have more moves, but they have Focus Plus and Hyper Beam. I'm not sure if they have more. My Mega Scissor actually looks quite good here, but I need to avoid that Lopunny. I don't know how much a Fire Punch does, but I would reckon it would do a ton of damage to Scissor because Lopunny is quite attack weighted, and on top of that, Fire Punch is double super effective. So basically, what I need to do to win this matchup is to avoid that Mega Lopunny with my Scissor. See if I can pull it off. Let me see, that took a while to log in here. Alright, here we go. This is the lead. Mega Scissor into Mamoswine. Really good lead for me. My opponent's staying in. They might not know this matchup very well, which doesn't surprise me. And in the back is their Primarina. Unfortunately, this already looks quite RPS. But it is one of the better battles that I had here. They Fire Punch bait. I'm pretty sure they could have gotten there. Maybe they didn't think they would survive another Charm there. They could have gotten to a Hyper Beam. Maybe they had around Focus Plus though. And that Fire Punch. You know, I feel like that already does way too much. Low kick is, or sorry, double kick, very low attack move. Fire Punch shouldn't do much, but it got Primarina to half HP. Mamoswine, not great for Primarina is pretty good against Mamoswine as well because it resists that ice. And at the time, there was no high horsepower on this yet, so Bulldoze is also kind of a crappy move. Still as expensive. But they throw Avalanche instead. They wear attack debuff, so that doesn't even take me out. And in the back is a Mewtwo. Now you're going to see how Scissor does against this. This isn't even the best matchup that you would expect because you have super effective Night Slash, but Mewtwo just takes that quite comfortably, and you can't really farm down with Bullet Punch. Just barely doesn't do enough. Fewer Cutter definitely would be better in this matchup. It charges faster, and it's super effective. Now Mewtwo also can pack Flamethrower, so that kind of sucks. And especially in Master League factions, you can change your movesets beforehand. So you can just adapt your Mewtwo moveset to whatever your opponent has. And Flamethrower definitely would one-shot my Scissor. But Scissor is going to clean up this matchup. Didn't have much trouble against ABA against the Scissor. It put in good work there. But to be honest, against Mewtwo, it's a very iffy matchup. Let's take a look at the second matchup here. I won this matchup 2-1, I believe, because I forgot to throw a charge move. Anyway, I might butcher up his name. I'm playing as Rishabh Kalyani, and they actually have 2 megas on their team. Now, I know if they have 1 mega, they don't have the other one on their team, so I can adapt my strategy to that. On top of that, Megazard X, probably one of the better Megas right now because its moveset is very versatile. Before Megas were involved in this, Fire Spin or Wing Attack were so useless on Megazard X. Wing Attack probably still is, although it does get buffed now. But now it actually has use because there's stuff like Mega Aggron, even though he probably just died to Smackdowns. There is Mega Scissors, for example, and Fire Spin has use. It would actually obliterate my Mega Scissor. Let's just see how my opponent is going to play. They run Triple Dragon. Let me see. I need to skip to here. Alright, here we go. Mega Scissor into Megazord X. If it's Dragon Breath, I'm probably staying in. If it's Fire Spin, I will save swap into my Dragonite. And it is Fire Spin, so I get the hell out. They answer with the Shadow Mamoswine. This is looking incredibly bad for me, but Dragonite is just barely bulky enough in Master League to get the 2 charge move here if they don't throw their charge move. Are they going to farm me down? They CMP with me on this next Dranclaw. That is a massive mistake by my opponent. Now, if they want to keep switch, which they do, they have to shield that. Excadrill is still not great against Megazard. Fire Spins add up really much, and it's also only single weak to rock. On the other hand, ground super effective, so I guess we're just throwing Durons into that. This Mamoswine barely gets to an Avalanche. I don't care. It's double shoot Excadrill time now. Not sure what the worst is that I could see at this point. Maybe the Venusaur, but we already saw the Megazord X, so there can't be no Venusaur. They throw a Dragon Claw. I will still shield that. I'm expecting Mewtwo in the back, and Excadrill wins against Mewtwo with a shoot up, so I should be very good here. I don't think they will outpace me to a Blast Burn on the Excadrill as well. Yeah, with a couple mud shots. Maybe not even with a couple mud shots. I might just farm the 2 moves. Let's see what I do here. I farm up a little bit more just before the next side strike. And this Durant should take out the Mewtwo. Let's see. It does take it out, and now I should be able to easily get to my Durant. That will probably take out the Megazord X. There we go, that wins me this battle. So I had a terrible lead. I found out their moveset. And funny thing, they actually left after every battle. Because you basically you just pretend it's the bug, right? That annoying bug that makes you leave after every game. And they actually swapped to their Mega Venusaur for game 3. But they got hard counted there like hell. I had a Scissor and the Dragonite on my line. Third matchup against 9 Panda, a player from Japan who's not running Megas. I really feel like these kind of practice tournaments are to run your Megas. But either way, they're running a very strong Mewtwo Groudon core, one of my favorites as well, and it just looks pretty solid. My Mega Scissor has quite some play here. I need to avoid that Groudon. The Excadrill, I think a neutral matchup, to be honest. 2 Night Slash probably take it out, and they need 2 Durant to take me out. I'd probably win CMP. And Gyarados is somewhat iffy. I don't expect Gyarados really against a line that has Primarina on it. But we'll see. Let's take a look at what my opponent is going to use here. Mega Scissor into Groudon. Give me a break, winning a lead. Swapping into my Landers. I know my opponent doesn't have a very strong answer to this. Their best probably Mewtwo, but they're staying in and they're throwing a move, which is great for me. If they swap now, my Landorus is loaded and can maybe take switch, but let's see. They do swap in their Mewtwo, and I am loaded with NGR. Throw that Stone Edge. The problem is, though, I'm also in Side Strike range after that Fire Punch. The Stone Edge also does way less than I thought, but I think I need to flip this matchup because what could be in the back? It's probably something pretty weak to Mega Scissor in the back. And if I get my Dragonite on that Groudon, that's such a dominant matchup. So I think the way to play is to wind switch, and maybe I get one shield. I'll throw another superpower, just hoping to get 2 shields. No idea how much this does, but it does barely enough that I'm confident enough to now shield and mud shot this down and take switch, even though I am a shield down. Can I farm it down? I can't farm it down. That's wonderful. Come out with a Stone Edge as well. And now I'll throw some superpowers into this Groudon. They won't do too much. I'm already double debuffed, but you know, every chip is helpful at this point. They didn't throw the energy just yet. Now they do to get rid of my Landorus. They're probably sick of it. So they are a shield up, but I'm not in a bad spot here. However, it is Excadrill in the back, and they are a shield up. I don't think Scissor wins this. We're gonna see how bulky Mega Scissor, about 4,600 CP high, if it can take 2 Durons. Normal Scissor already is quite fragile in most leagues. Let's see how fragile Mega Scissor is, and it does about as much as it would do on a Mewtwo, to be honest. So not great. Am I in a good spot here? Somewhat. If they get 2 Rock Slides on my Dragonites, it's definitely over. If I take 1 Rock Slide, then it's probably playable. Takes out my Mega Scissor and farmed up so much energy that he has a Rock Slide stored, and it's very, very close to get to the Dragon Claw for me. Let's see. Do they outpace me or do I get there? I throw in their Mud Shot, assuring they can't catch this Dragon Claw, and now I don't think this Groudon can take me out. It might need 2 Fire Punch, maybe even 3. Nah, I think 2 should do it with the Mud Shots. But they're farming up. They're farming to 2 Fire Punches. I, however, already got to my superpower here, and that will take out this Groudon. I think flipping switch here may have been key. Honestly, though, if I had 2 shields down, Dragonite wins the zeros against Excadrill. So I think I had it either way, whether I went shields down or not. Now, for the finals, actually, there was a 5th round, but I had to forfeit because my opponent could only play at the very end of the round, and I had to get ready for Stuttgart. But so we'll call this finals now, and I will actually show all 3 rounds here because I think this was a very fun round. And he has a Mega Aggron. Now, this is what I was very hyped for. Mega Aggron is probably the best Pokemon for Master League factions, and the reason why is because it's bulk and it's very defensive typing, mono steel type. It also has Dragon Tail and Smackdown, so it destroys dragons and things like fire types. Good thing that I have an Excadrill for that. He also has a Genesect. Genesect is, in my opinion, along with Dragonite, the biggest steal of Master League, especially with what's called the Chill Drive. It just can hit about everything but a mono steel. The other 3 Pokemon on this line, besides the Giratina, right, so the Swampert, Machamp, Togekiss, they form a pretty good core, but I think they're somewhat trash compared to the Aggron, Giratina, and Genesect. I'm honestly not expecting those at all. Let's take a look at the first game against Gucci Gang. Met him in Columbus briefly. Really cool guy. Let's see. I have a wonderful lead here. And they swap in Genesect as expected. I do not have an answer to this, so I'm just going to stay in for a little bit. I have Landorus in the back, so I don't mind losing Switch that much, but I don't want my Dragonite on it because that's a terrible situation. Notice how I really didn't expect any Swampert from my opponent because I'm running ABA against Swampert, right? I'm running Ground in the lead, Ground in the back. Maybe not the smartest, just in case you bring Swampert, but who does it against a Dragonite, right? Dragonite and Primarina. Let's take a look. Shield this. Next, Technoblast. If I don't win Switch, I at least want to get shields down to Superpower. The Aggron in the back. This will KO, and they do let that go. In the back is Swampert. I actually dodged a bullet. This is very lucky that he brings it out right now. First Drowan coming in. They're at 6 Muchos now, so they overfarmed. They're smart enough to not CMP with me here, and they also throw just barely before my next Drowan. Very good counting. Hydro takes it out, but I have a Dragonite for this, and in comes that Mega Aggron. Now, I do have Superpower Earthquake on my Landers for a slightly better match, but look how much those Dragon Tails non-stab add up. This really reminds me of like Bastiodon. This is the Master League Bastiodon, to be honest. They shield that first move, kind of unfortunate. I was hoping they would no-shield the first one, because I probably need to bait Superpower if they'd expect Stone Edge on it. And they also let me get to this Superpower here, which actually wins me the battle, because I think if they threw the Heavy Slam or the Stone Edge, depending on what move they have, they win this battle quite easily. And now I'm actually... Oh, I'm not able to farm it down, actually. Is this a Heavy Slam or Stone Edge? It's a Heavy Slam, so I survived that. I think I also would have survived a Stone Edge, but the Dragon Tail after, maybe not. I CMP on this Superpower, and this probably takes out the Swampert. That's a very good game. That's the first game where I basically didn't expect Swampert at all. I don't think it was that strong against my line. I mean, it's kind of decent against Scissor, against the first 3 on my line, I guess. But I dodged a bullet there. Really dodged a bullet. Maybe something I should not have. And I'm also a bit toying around with my moveset, as you may notice, because I have Earthquake and Superpower on my Landorus. I have a terrible lead here, and I say swap into my Xerneas. I wouldn't say this is a neutral matchup per se. The Dragon Tails are double resisted. My tackles are single resisted. I have close combat, but they have Heavy Slam, which does only like 50%, but it still is not a great matchup. Now they swap into their Genesect. I don't like this at all, but I likely will get a shield back here because they don't survive 2 close combats. This is actually where I wanted my Scissor on the Genesect because I resist all of its complete moveset. And they need to throw a Techno Blast here to take me out. Let's see what they do. And they actually run Magna Bomb, which makes sense because otherwise they're walled by my Primarina. So very good moveset choice from Gucci Gang there. In comes a Techno Blast. Resisted, doesn't do that much, and I can farm this completely down. But Night Slashes are going to do nothing on Mega Aggron. I swap into my Landorus, hoping for a decent matchup in the back in the one-shot, but it's a Togekiss, and I don't have Stone Edge! So I top left. It's over. It was over. It's 1-1 at this point. We're going for the finals against Gucci Gang here. Let's see what he got for me. Mega Scissor into Togekiss. Alright, let's see how this goes. He safe swaps Giratina, and again, I don't have great answers in the back. Yes, I have fairies, but my Primarina has Waterfall for their Genesect. Again, I'm toying around with my movesets here, and it's also better against their Mega Aggron. And you're actually going to see that this matchup is not that great at all. This is just like Mewtwo. The Night Slash just doesn't do enough, and the Bullet Punches don't add up fast enough. I think... or actually, I'm pretty sure that Mega Scissor loses the 0 shields here. Maybe not the zeros. You definitely lose the 2 shields here because the Shadow Claws add up so much. As you can see, I'm already almost at half HP. And they even bait me, which is even worse. I think we see CMP tie on the last Night Slash because they should be at the next charge move at this point that will take me out. But they let it go. They go for the shield advantage. I get the boost, which is something I really like at this point. But we're not out of the clear just yet. That boost Night Slash doesn't even do as much as I was hoping for. And they throw right before my next Night Slash, which I somewhat expected. So I catch it on my Primarina. That's a nice Hydro wasted there. And do you see the Waterfall? They swap in their Togekiss. This is where I wish I had Charm. I was expecting Genesect and Mega Aggron. Instead, he didn't bring his Steel types at all. He brought a Swampert Giratina core. Again, that Swampert that I didn't expect. Moonblast comes through. It definitely would hurt a lot. And they're at a flamethrower almost. So I don't want to go in Scissor, right? I want to keep Scissor a little bit alive because I'm so close to a Night Slash. I'll go into my Xerneas, and I'm not going to tackle it down, but I just want them to throw energy here. And they throw an Ancient Power only. Now I will go into Scissor and see if I can farm this down before it gets to an Ancient Power. But it does get there, which is a huge misplay by me, yours truly. Let's take a look. I will tackle this down, and then we CMP on the Hydro here. I don't think Hydro would have taken me out, but it definitely would have made it very close. The close combat will take out the Swampert, and the Togekiss had no energy. That's a 2-1 victory for me. So, unfortunately, no 5th round because my opponent could only play at the very end, and I couldn't. But I won all the other rounds, and I think it was very fun practice. In conclusion, I don't think Scissor is very good, but it's very fun. just more practice, more play with Mega Pokemon, and we'll see what is actually the best. Hope you liked the video and have a good one.